Hello and welcome back to my small little library. Today we're going to talk about the last TBR for the year, which is a pivotal one because I am 6 books away from my goal for the year to get my physical TBR to be under 200. So to actually manage to do that, I chose pretty much the shortest books I have on my TBR. So these are really randomly collected books. I don't have a theme other than that. A lot of these books I picked up in random book boxes. I know nothing about them. But some way or another, we will get through at least 6 books till the end of the year. That is the goal here. So yeah, let's hope that this works out. The last few months have been a little bit up and down with my reading. November has been particularly bad. So let's hope that we can make up for that in December and get through some of these books. I have chosen, I think, 8 or 9, and I need to get through at least 6 of them. So let's start with one I'm actually looking forward to, and that is the first book in the Malloreon series by David Eddings, which is Guardians of the West. This is the second series by him that I will read, and it picks up directly after the first series, which I think it's the Bagariad series, something like that. I have forgotten the first series name. It is a little bit ago that I finished the first series, but I really liked it. It's much more of it like a classic fantasy series, and so I decided it is finally time to continue with the second series that, continues on the story of our main characters from the first one. And yeah, it is not the smallest book, but it is not the biggest book for like fantasy, so I feel like this should be fine. Then we have a John Grisham book, which this is a quite small book. This is The Racketeer, which I have no idea what this is about. I bought quite a few John Grisham books. I never read one. I think I read my first John Grisham book like 2 months ago or something like that. I don't love them, but I also don't hate them. I think it's like a really neutral stance, at least so far. I think I finished 2 of his books, so far. So we'll see how this goes. It is about a murdered judge, so it is like a law thriller, I would say, which I think it's kind of an interesting topic, but I feel like it can get too much into the true crime stuff, and I like more of the thrillery stuff. So we'll see which way this one goes. Hopefully it's good. I have I think 5 other John Grisham books, so at least if I stay neutral to them, I don't have a problem with the amount I still have to read from him. But yeah, The Racketeer. Don't really know much, but I think that kind of makes them a little bit more interesting if you go in completely blind, so I'm not totally opposed to that. Then we have a book that I probably won't like, and we'll see if there will be a DNF, but this is The Coldest Touch by Isabel Sterling. This was in a book box, and it is a romance, so it's not what I read at all. It was like an add-on to the book box. It wasn't the book that was mainly in the box. So I know nothing about this other than that it is a romance, and it has, something to do with we have 2 main characters. Elise, she's cursed, and then she meets Claire, who's a vampire, and those 2, I think, fall in love and grow closer, and as you can see, it has also, I think, a high school setting, which is something I also don't like. So I think this book has a lot of things I really don't love in books, but I will give it a try, and then we'll see how it goes. If I don't like it, I will just DNF it, which is still fine. But it is a small book, so if I do like it, I will be through it quickly. Then we have one that was on my TBR for November, but there's no chance that I will finish it in November. I have, I think, on Sunday is so I have 6 days left in November, and there's just no way that I will get to it, so I will put it on my December TBR, and that is Red Rising, which I have heard so many good things about. I own the complete series, I just have never started it, because it's always the book that is over at the end of the month if I don't finish my TBR. So hopefully I will get to it in December. I don't know much about it other than that it plays on Mars, and we have a working class who don't know that Mars is actually kind of livable above the surface, I think, and they kind of get kept down by the richer people on top. something like that, I think, and our main character is quite young, but you know, I think he will grow with the series. So we'll see how it is, but it is supposed to be like a really, really good sci-fi. So I am looking forward to it. I just have no idea really if I will like it or not, because I don't know in what like direction the series goes, if it's like more drama, more action, you know, stuff like that. I don't know much about it, but I did hear quite a good thing. Then we have a book I just chose for the length. I don't think I will like it, but I got it with all of the other David Eddings books. So I thought, you know what, let's just give this a try as well. And this is The Losers, which is, I did read the blurb, and we have our main character who's like, you know, doing pretty good in life, and then he meets this weird shady guy, has an accident, and he like really like just falls from grace from there. And then I think he loses his leg. And then he struggles and he lands at this like in like a living situation where he lives with the losers, and then the guy who made his life fall apart like turns up again, and it's something with that. It is a contemporary. I am not a fan of contemporaries. I don't know anything other than what I read in the blurb, which isn't that much. So we'll see how it is. I like David Eddings' writing style, so maybe that is a good thing and I will like it, but it is like an outlier of the books that I bought from him. Like I bought 3 of his fantasy series and 2 standalones, which are also fantasy books, and this is the only non-fantasy book that was like included in the box. So, you know, but it is a short one and we need all of the short books we can get this month. Then we have a Clive Cussler, the shortest one I have. I'm just going off of the order of the Clive Cussler books now, because to be honest, I don't feel like you have to read them on order at all. Like I think 4 or 5 I've read so far, it doesn't really matter if it's in order. So I don't care. I just chose the shortest one, which is Night Probe. So yeah, don't know anything about it, but Clive Cussler, this is like a Doc Pitt adventure, so it's the typical Numa Files. We have an adventure, our guy meets a girl, they hit it off, and at some point somebody gets kidnapped. That is pretty much the gist of those novels, but you know, they are action novels, they are entertaining. I like to read them. They're not my favorite, but they are always entertaining, so a short one of that will give me like a good breather in the month if I don't like the other books, because I know that I will at least like enjoy it, which is a really, really good thing if you know, have to get through like a baseline of books. And I need to get my TBR under control, so that I can actually allow myself to buy new books that I really want to read. So we have to get through kind of all of them, ideally. Then we have one I'm kind of excited about, but I'm kind of also afraid, and that is Killing Me Softly by Nikki French, which I got this one in an eBay book box as well. And this is, it's a book about obsession, like romantic obsession, and all of the downfalls that brings with it. We have our main character who's called Alice, and she has like from the outside the perfect life, but then she meets this guy, she begins an affair, and kind of everything spirals from there, and then it's all about the obsession between her and the affair partner. That is what I've gotten so far, which I think that could be really, really good. Like that could be like a really, really like packing thriller, I feel like. I just don't know because I know nothing about the book. I've never heard of the author, you know. So I think I might need to be skeptical going in, but it does sound really interesting. So I am excited to start this one. Then we have Jack Higgins, The President's Daughter, which is a book about a secret daughter of a president who gets kidnapped, and the president gets like obviously blackmailed and stuff like that, and this is the book about that. Got this random, as I did a lot of these books. I bought a lot of random books a few years ago. I'm kind of regretting it, but we're making our way through them. So yeah, it is, I would say, more like a political thriller, which like I love thrillers, not the political kind, but maybe we get more of like a crime thriller in here. We'll see. It's not a long book, it's like a pretty short book, which if it's full of action, that will be fine. So we see how it is. I know nothing about it, as always. And then we have, because I really need to do a dent in the bookbox books that I got over the years, which I still haven't made my way through them. So I picked the shortest one I could find, which is really, really shiny. This is called Some Desperate Glory. It is a space opera, a queer space opera, about a woman who was trained to be a soldier, and then when the time comes to help Earth, she gets put on the wayside and gets told, no, you need to get pregnant. And she is like, no way, that is not what we were told, what I was like expected to do, like, you know, that isn't what I want for my life. And then she goes on a rogue mission, pretty much. That is as much as I've gathered so far. So we'll see how it is. I have no idea. Sadly, I don't have a good track record with the fantasy book box I used to get. The books in the Illumi crate, like, most of them just have so much romance in them, which I didn't enjoy because it was advertised as a fantasy book box, and in my opinion it was much more romantasy than anything else in there. So I'm always a bit skeptical about the books. I mean, this one seems to not be about that, but you never know, you know. They get you in there and they sneak a relationship in there somewhere. But we'll see. Hopefully it's a good one, because I have quite a few and I need to get through them. Because, you know, they're all really, really pretty books. Like, if you look at them, like, they are all so pretty. From the outside and inside, so I would really like to love them so I can put them on my shelves and they look good there, but track record has proven it to be otherwise, so we'll see how it goes. But those are all of the books that I plan on reading in December. Somehow we will get through all of them so that I can get my TBR to under 200 before the new year. That is the goal that I kind of need to get to in December, so wish me luck. If you know any of these books, if you've read any of them, please leave your opinion of them down below. I would love to get a few, like, what you thought of the books, you know, maybe some motivation to actually read them. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this quick little December TBR. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I will see you in the next video, so bye bye!